Peace is an interesting character trait because we have this tendency to always think of it in its opposite situation, which, unlike joy, in last month we talked about how awkward it is sometimes to plug joy into an opposite situation because we have this false assumption that the only synonyms for joy are happiness and euphoria. There are others, and you can check out the video series from April. But for peace, it seems that it's different. It seems like we always put it into an opposite situation. We have a tendency to think of it either when we're in a spa with cucumbers on our eyes and meditational music is playing, or maybe we think of a nice white sand beach with palm trees and a blue sky and a nice breeze. Or we use it as an antidote for chaos and war. And we see this in the headlines all the time. Things escalate and they're starting to get dangerous, and then we hear about peace talks or the need for peace, or make peace not war, make love not war, right? And we have this tendency to always think about peace kind of like in a binary opposition. And so we're either here on this side or we're way over here in war and chaos and confusion. And so this middle section we rarely talk about. And we don't realize that there can be peace in the middle, but this is where the character is developed, and this is where we grow, and this is where we have a peaceful life. It's not one extreme of being on the beach, or if we're in a war, then we are absent of it. It's more of how do you live with a peaceful character trait all day and every day and all the way through your life. So that's what we are going to talk about this month with peace. So in week 1, starting with today, we're going to talk about definitions so that we're all on the same page. In week 2, we're going to talk about what robs us of our peace, what breaks peace in our lives. And then in week 3, we're going to talk about how to bring healthy peace into our lives. And in week 4, then we're going to talk about giving peace to each other. And we often say, peace be with you, but what does that really mean? And can we really do it? So let's start off with our definitions this week. And from the dictionary, we see that peace is the freedom from disturbance and its tranquility. So this definition has the idea that peace is on the other end of the spectrum and it kind of hovers over there. And so then if you have anything in your life that would be quote unquote not peaceful, then you're not having peace. And so, as usual, I'm going to steer clear of the dictionary definition because I think we can go broader than that. And I think that we can learn a little bit from this to have a better daily life and better relationships. So our society has a tendency to talk about being a peacekeeper. And a peacekeeper is simply giving up your voice or your worth just to keep the peace. So either I come to you and I want you to behave in a certain way so that I don't get agitated or I'm not blowing up, or we behave so that the person around us doesn't blow up. I'm going to behave a certain way. I'm going to be quiet. I'm not going to say anything because that person will get us into an argument, and the argument will get us into the spin cycle. Nothing ever gets resolved. So I'm just not going to say anything. I'm going to be quiet. That's not healthy. That's not peace. In the healthy sense of the word, that's peacekeeping, and the other name for it is codependency. So if I'm behaving to keep someone else from blowing up, that's codependent, and vice versa. A peacemaker, on the other hand, this is from, if you're familiar with the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew 5 from the Bible, when Jesus gives this sermon, he says, "Blessed are the peacemakers," or in this message version, you are blessed when you can show people how to cooperate. A peacemaker is someone who shows people how to cooperate instead of competing or fighting. That's when you discover who you really are and your place in God's family. And so to cooperate simply means to work jointly together toward the same end or this common goal. You're collaborating, banding together, joining forces. Now, we talked about this a couple weeks ago in Patrick Lencioni's book, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. I highly, highly recommend this book. It's really good. Pay attention to Susan, how she behaves as you're reading, because that's the key. But in his triangle, trust is at the bottom layer. This is where the cooperation comes in. When we're cooperating and when we're being a peacemaker, can show people how to cooperate, it starts with trust. And because when you have trust, then you can have healthy conflict. Any healthy relationship must have healthy conflict, otherwise it's not going to grow, because everybody has their own ideas, everybody has their own opinion, everybody has their own wants and desires. This is where creativity and ingenuity and innovation come in. There must be healthy conflict in order for a team or a family to get along. And when there is not healthy conflict, when people are yelling and it doesn't get anywhere and it's destructive and it destroys people's character, that's peacekeeping. When you're just like, okay, forget it, I'm out, I'm not going to say anything because it doesn't go anywhere. That's peacekeeping. Peacemaking is cooperating. Everybody gets an opinion, but because you have trust, you can have this healthy conflict. When you have healthy conflict, then you have commitment and buy-in, even though you might not be getting your way, because it's not about me. You'll notice that doesn't say Peacemaker is about getting your own way. Peacekeeping, that's selfish. That's getting your own way. But peacemaking is giving up our own desires on behalf of the common goal. Whatever that common goal is, everybody lets go of their own stuff so that the best decision is made for this common goal. And when that happens, you have commitment and buy-in. Even though I might not be getting my way, I'm still going to commit and buy into it. Then you're going to get accountability, and then you're going to get the results. So peacemaking is all about cooperating. So, and I mentioned Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Justice Scalia a couple weeks ago. They did this because they had trust. They were adamantly opposed on ideas, but yet somehow they went out and had dinner together and drinks together and went to the opera together and were best of friends because they trusted and they were able to have healthy conflict without destroying each other's character. They had great respect for each other. So that's how this works. That's what we're going to talk about for the next 3 weeks. Next week, what destroys peace, how to bring peace into your life, and then extending peace to each other. So I'm going to post this on the social media. These are the Bible verses that I'm getting from Philippians, James, and Proverbs. When we meditate on what is true, noble, just, pure, lovely, and of good rapport, virtuous or praiseworthy, the God of peace will be with you. Right? So whatever we meditated on, whatever we concentrate on, whatever media you're listening to, TV shows, movies, podcasts, whatever it is that you're putting into your brain, that is either negative or positive, is influencing the way that you behave. So I'm going to let you read through the rest of these, and this one is Matthew 11:28 through 30. Are you tired? Are you burned out on religion, worn out? Come to me, get away with me, and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me, work with me, watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't let anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me and you'll learn how to live freely and lightly. So if you want to head over to Amazon, you can order the journal. This is the journal that I published that goes along with this video series. There's places in here for you to write down your responses. And this is the memoir of Bob Lujano, the story of how he, all 4 of his limbs were amputated at the age of 9 due to meningococcemia. And then their journey all the way up to the Paralympics and winning the bronze medal for Team USA in quad rugby. So as always, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you next week.